Madness continues not just on the courts, but in them as well.
As we reported at the top of the newscast, a Dane County judge has temporarily blocked the state's new collective bargaining law from taking effect. And we have UW political scientist Charles Franklin with us again live today, helping us put this in perspective, if that's possible. I mean, one of the first questions a friend of mine asked today was, is this just another move to delay things? I mean, is there a possibility this won't become law?
Well, it's certainly possible that the judge could rule against the state, and that in effect throws it back to the legislature to pass the bill again. Judge Sumi in her statements this morning from the bench said there's nothing here to prevent the legislature from simply passing the bill again with the 24-hour notice and so on. So that's one avenue that the legislature and the governor could take and would apparently resolve the court case. The other possibility, of course, is the state is going to appeal. It will next week pursue the appeal. That could overturn Judge Sumi's ruling. So this thing that's taken a long time could still stretch out for longer periods. Now, for the opponents, the opportunity here is to think that, well, maybe there are barriers to at least the implementation of this in the short term. But I think, as Governor Walker said in the clip you played earlier, there's nothing that's been said so far that goes to the substance of the law, just the procedure under which it passed. Right. So if it were passed again, at least at the moment, there's nothing to make us think that there would be a ruling against the content of the law.
And the Fitzgerald brothers, the leaders of the Senate and the House, say that they don't think that county judge has this authority to rule on a constitution. Right.
We've had lots of back and forth on the legal side from the attorneys as well as the Fitzgeralds. You know, the bottom line is the reason you have courts is they get to decide these kinds of controversial questions rather than the advocates on each of the sides. So I think we just have to wait for the courts to decide that issue. And
you use the word wait. The other question people have too is, how long will this part last? You know, when will this finally end? Exactly. Or could it?
Well, this is the preliminary injunction that stops the bill from immediately taking effect. We'll hear actual arguments on the merits of the case on March 29th, I believe it is, and then perhaps some days after that, and a ruling somewhat after that. One of the issues is that some of these changes that are in the law on benefits and deductions are things that are supposed to go in the April pay period, and so it does have some implications for how much money the state saves by those contribution changes and how much employees see out of their paychecks at that time. So there is some issue of the timing on those grounds.
But this law probably will pass eventually.
Well, the real issue is if you come back and you try to pass it again, can the Democrats leave again? Technically they could, but Senator Tim Cullen from Janesville was quoted today as saying that he would not leave the state again. Republicans only need one Democrat to be present to get the quorum, so it's certainly possible the bill could pass with him present.
I'm sure we will talk
or
again.
Others.
I'm sure we'll talk again, Charles. No, this is not over yet. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, thank you.